Stop forcing everything, because life may already be bringing what is meant for you in ways you cannot see yet. What would change inside you if you no longer believed that everything depended on your constant effort? Something brought you to these words at this moment. Perhaps you have been trying to hold too many things together. Perhaps your mind has been moving from one worry to another, looking for an answer that still has not appeared. You may have been waiting for a message, a decision, a change, a sign, or a clear direction. You may be tired of telling yourself that you must stay strong, keep trying, think harder, and find a way to make everything work. There is a kind of tiredness that sleep does not fully remove. It comes from carrying too much inside your mind. It comes from watching every detail, trying to understand every silence, and wondering what you should do next. It comes from believing that if you stop watching, something may go wrong. If you stop pushing, the opportunity may disappear. If you stop proving yourself, someone may forget your value. My dear, this is not only tiredness in your body, it is the weight of trying to manage life before life has shown you what it is doing. You may notice it in small moments. The way your fingers tighten around your phone, the way you check for a reply even though you checked only a few minutes ago, the way your eyes feel heavy from looking at the same problem from every possible side, the way your shoulders rise while you are sitting still. The drink beside you has grown cold because your mind has been somewhere else. Your jaw is tight. Your breath stays high in your chest. You are in the room, but part of you is living in a future that has not happened, right here. Notice what your body has been trying to tell you. It may not be asking you to work harder. It may be asking you to stop carrying a responsibility that was never fully yours. There are moments when effort is needed. There are moments when you must speak, move, decide, prepare, and take action. But there is also a kind of effort that no longer helps. It is the effort of trying to control another person's heart. It is the effort of trying to make the future arrive before it is ready. It is the effort of trying to force an answer out of silence. It is the effort of believing that you can prevent every disappointment if you think far enough ahead. That kind of effort does not create peace. It creates pressure. You have tried to plan it. You have tried to protect it. You have tried to predict it. You have tried to push it into place. And still, part of life remains outside your control. This does not mean you have failed. It means you are human. It means you have reached the edge of what your mind can manage. It means a different kind of strength is asking to enter your life. Enough, not enough because you are weak. Enough because your peace matters too. Imagine that your life is a stage. You have been trying to raise the curtain, move the chairs, control the lights, remember every line, and decide how every person should act. You have been trying to make sure the next part happens exactly as planned. But you were never meant to do every job. You are part of the story, but you are not required to control the whole stage. Some things are moving where you cannot see them. Some choices are being made outside your room. Some answers are forming in places your eyes cannot reach. Some parts of the next chapter are still being prepared. My dear, you do not need to pull the curtain open with your own hands. There is wisdom in allowing a moment to remain unfinished. There is wisdom in not sending another message from fear. There is wisdom in waiting until your heart is calmer before you decide. There is wisdom in saying, I have done what I can for today. This can feel strange when you are used to pressure. Your mind may say, but what if I miss something? It may say, what if nothing happens? It may tell you that rest is dangerous and that stillness means you are falling behind. These thoughts are not proof. They are old habits speaking. You can hear them without obeying them. You can notice fear without building your whole day around it. You can feel uncertain without rushing into an action you do not truly want to take. Place your attention on your hands. You do not need to change them. Simply notice whether they are tight or soft. Notice the weight of the phone, the fabric under your fingers, or the cool air touching your skin. Notice the space between your fingers. Your body is here. The future is not here yet. This moment is here. And in this moment, you are not required to solve your whole life. My dear, there may be a hidden belief under all this forcing. The belief may sound like this: if I do not make it happen, nothing good will come. That belief can make every delay feel personal. It can make silence feel like rejection. It can make rest feel like failure. It can make you believe that good things must be earned through pain, worry, and constant work. But what if life does not need you to suffer before it can support you? What if the right path does not require you to lose yourself? What if your value is not measured by how exhausted you become? What if some things can come through calm action, clear choices, and open space? You may have learned to respect struggle more than peace. You may trust something only when it is difficult. When a situation becomes simple, part of you may wonder if it is real. When someone is clear with you, you may wait for confusion. When an opportunity comes without a fight, you may question whether you deserve it. This is how deeply forcing can become part of your identity. But forcing is something you learned. It is not who you are. You are not the pressure in your chest. You are not the fearful voice that wants an answer right now. You are not the endless list inside your mind. You are the awareness that can notice all of it. You are the part of yourself that can choose a kinder response. I no longer have to carry every answer. Life is allowed to meet me. I am safe enough to soften. Let these words move through you without turning them into another task. You do not need to believe them perfectly. You do not need to create a special feeling. Allow them to sit beside you like a gentle truth that has been waiting for space. The old way may still speak. It may tell you to check, chase, fix, explain, and control. You can thank that part of yourself for trying to help. It learned that movement was safer than waiting. It learned that being busy felt better than feeling afraid. But you are learning something new now. You are learning that not every silence is a warning. You are learning that not every delay is a closed path. You are learning that not every unanswered question needs to be answered today. You are learning that your nervous system deserves peace before the result appears. My dear, think about the amount of energy it takes to fight reality. When something is not moving, you push. When someone is not ready, you try to convince them. When the path is unclear, you create 10 plans. When you feel afraid, you fill every quiet space with thought. Then you wonder why you feel empty. You are not empty because life has given you nothing. You are empty because you have been pouring your energy into places that cannot receive it right now. There is no shame in seeing this. Awareness is not an attack. It is the first moment of freedom. You can say, I have been trying too hard here. You can say, this is taking more from me than it is giving. You can say, I need to step back and hear myself. These words are not weakness. They are honest. For a few moments, feel the support beneath your body. The chair is holding you. The bed is holding you. The floor is beneath your feet. You are not floating without support. You are being carried in simple ways that your worried mind may not notice. Notice the air near your face. Notice the small movement in your chest. Notice the weight of your head. Notice the room around you. There is support here. Life is not asking you to carry everything without help. Sometimes support comes through another person. Sometimes it comes through a new idea. Sometimes it comes through a plan changing. Sometimes it comes through a door closing before you walk too far in the wrong direction. Sometimes it comes through the sudden desire to rest. Support does not always look like the answer you expected. That is why forcing can hide it. When you are focused on one exact result, you may not notice the better direction opening beside it. You may be asking life to use only one door. Life may be showing you a whole new path. My dear, your desire is not wrong. It is natural to want love, peace, money, healing, clarity, work, connection, and a sense of purpose. You do not need to stop wanting. You only need to stop hurting yourself while you wait. Desire can be soft. Hope can be calm. Action can come from self-respect. Waiting can hold meaning. You can want something deeply without making your happiness depend on it. You can care without losing sleep. You can prepare without living in fear. You can move forward without dragging the future toward you. Lighter now. Not because every answer has arrived, but because you are beginning to see that you do not have to create every answer alone. The stage of your life is still changing. Some parts are moving quietly. Some lights have not turned on yet. Some people have not entered. Some words have not been spoken. The next part is not missing. It is simply not visible from where you are standing. Your job is not to force the whole scene to appear. Your job is to remain honest, awake, and kind to yourself while it forms. There may be an action to take. There may be something to release. There may be a truth to speak. There may be a place where you need to stop and listen. But before any of that becomes clear, allow yourself to admit the truth. You are tired of pushing. You are tired of carrying every possibility. You are tired of trying to keep everything from changing. You are tired of acting as if your peace can wait until life becomes perfect. My dear, your peace does not need to wait. It can begin before the message comes. It can begin before the decision is made. It can begin before the path is clear. It can begin here, where you stop treating every uncertain moment like an emergency. The curtain will rise when the next part is ready. You do not need to stand behind it, pulling with all your strength. Control does not begin because you are difficult. It often begins because some part of you wants to feel safe. There may have been times when life changed without warning. A person may have acted differently from what you expected. A promise may not have been kept. A plan may have ended suddenly. You may have learned that being prepared for pain felt better than being surprised by it. So you began watching closely. You tried to read every change in someone's voice. You noticed how long they took to reply. You looked for signs that something was wrong. You thought about what you would say if the situation changed. You created plans for problems that had not happened. This may have helped you feel protected for a while. If you could see pain coming, perhaps it would hurt less. If you could control the details, perhaps nothing would fall apart. If you could stay useful, needed, and careful, perhaps people would stay. My dear, the need for control may have been your way of holding yourself when you did not know how to trust life. You do not need to hate this part of yourself. You do not need to call yourself too much. You do not need to feel ashamed because uncertainty is hard for you. There is a reason you learn to hold everything tightly. Imagine that control is a heavy coat. At one point, you needed it. It gave you warmth during a cold season. It helped you walk through days when you did not feel protected. It covered your fear and gave you something to do. But the season has changed. You are still wearing the coat. It has become heavy around your shoulders. The fabric feels tight across your back. The weight makes every step harder. You keep carrying it because it once helped you, not because it still fits your life. Notice, you do not have to tear it away. You can understand why you wore it. You can thank it for protecting you. Then you can begin to set it down. My dear, there is an important difference between being responsible and trying to control everything. Responsibility says, I will care for what belongs to me. Control says, I must manage what belongs to everyone. Responsibility says, I will prepare as well as I can. Control says, I must know every result before I begin. Responsibility says, I will communicate clearly. Control says, I must control how the other person responds. Responsibility creates strength. Control creates pressure. You may have mixed these two ideas for a long time. You may believe that stepping back means you do not care. You may think that resting means you are lazy. You may think that accepting uncertainty means you have stopped trying. But there is a calm kind of care that does not require fear. You can care without carrying everything. You can prepare without predicting everything. You can love without controlling everything. You can move without forcing everything. This is not carelessness. It is balance. For the next 30 seconds, notice where your body is working harder than this moment requires. Your teeth may be touching. Your shoulders may be firm. Your stomach may be pulled inward. Your tongue may be pressed against the top of your mouth. There is nothing to fix. Simply notice. The body often keeps doing what the mind has practiced. If the mind expects trouble, the body stays ready. Even while sitting safely, your muscles may act as if they are preparing for a fight. You can send them a different message. The chair is under you. The room is around you. The fabric against your shoulders is real. The future problem is not here. Lighter now. My dear, control can also hide inside good intentions. You may call it helping. You may call it protecting. You may call it loving. You may believe you know what someone should do, how they should feel, and when they should change. But love cannot grow well under pressure. You can offer truth. You can offer support. You can offer a clear boundary. You cannot force another person to become ready. When you try, you begin living their life instead of your own. You spend your energy thinking about their choices, their feelings, their actions, and their future. Your own heart waits quietly for your attention. It is not selfish to return to yourself. It is necessary. You are responsible for your words, your choices, your limits, and your healing. You are not responsible for controlling another person's lesson. This truth may feel uncomfortable at first. It may leave an empty space. If you are not fixing them, what will you do with your time? If you are not watching them, what will you notice in yourself? You may notice sadness. You may notice anger. You may notice how tired you are. You may notice a dream you placed aside. You may notice that you have been asking someone else to give you permission to feel worthy. These feelings were always there. Control simply kept you too busy to hear them. My dear, setting down control may bring emotions to the surface. This is not a sign that you made the wrong choice. It is a sign that you are making room for honesty. The heavy coat did not remove the cold. It only stopped you from feeling it fully. Now you can care for yourself in a new way. You can choose warmth that does not weigh you down. You can choose support that does not require you to stay afraid. You can choose clear action instead of endless thought. I thank the part of me that tried to protect me. I no longer need pressure to feel safe. I choose a gentler strength. These words do not ask you to become careless. They invite you to stop using worry as proof that you care. Worry is not love. Exhaustion is not loyalty. Fear is not preparation. You can love someone and still sleep. You can want success and still rest. You can care about the future and still live today. You can be wise without expecting disaster. The next truth is important because many people confuse surrender with giving up. Before moving into that truth, look at the way control speaks. It often uses urgent words. It tells you that you must act now. It tells you that everything may be lost. It tells you that this is your only chance. It tells you that if you stop thinking, something terrible will happen. Urgency can feel powerful, but it is not always truth. Sometimes it is fear trying to stay in charge. You are allowed to ask, does this need action now or does it need space? You are allowed to ask, am I responding to what is real or to what I imagine may happen? You are allowed to ask, will this choice bring clarity or will it create more confusion? Use these questions with kindness. They are not tests. They are ways to slow down the old habit of reacting. My dear, you do not have to answer every message while your body is shaking. You do not have to make a life choice while you are afraid. You do not have to explain yourself to someone who is not listening. You do not have to solve tomorrow before the day ends. There is power in waiting until you can hear your own truth. Control may tell you that waiting is dangerous, but calm waiting is not the same as doing nothing. It is giving your wisdom time to rise above the noise. Think about how many choices you have made simply to stop discomfort. You may have said yes when you wanted to say no. You may have accepted less because you feared losing everything. You may have reached out because silence felt unbearable. You may have stayed busy because stillness brought up feelings you did not want to face. These choices do not make you weak. They show you where safety is still needed. Real safety does not come from controlling every result. It comes from knowing that you will stay with yourself even when the result is different from what you hoped. That is a deeper kind of trust. You can say, I may not control what happens, but I will not abandon myself. You can say, I may feel disappointment, but I can care for my heart. You can say, I may need to change direction, but I will still be worthy. You can say, I may not know the future, but I can meet this day. My dear, this is how the coat begins to loosen, not through force, not through shame, through understanding. You see that the old protection has become heavy. You see that it is no longer the only way to stay safe. You begin to build safety through clear boundaries, honest words, slower choices, supportive people, enough rest and respect for your own limits. You begin to trust yourself. This may be the safety you were searching for all along. Not the promise that nothing will change. Not the promise that no one will leave. Not the promise that every plan will work. The promise that you will remain present with yourself through change. You will listen when your body is tired. You will notice when a situation keeps hurting you. You will stop calling confusion love. You will stop proving your value through pain. You will ask for what you need. You will leave space for truth. My dear, control says, I must hold everything or I will fall. Inner safety says, I can set down what is not mine and the ground will still be here. Feel the ground now. Feel the support beneath your feet. Feel the weight of your body being held. You do know you have to create the support. It is already here. The coat can rest beside you. You do not need to throw it away with anger. It protected you during a time when you needed protection, but you can stop wearing it in every season. There is a softer strength waiting underneath. Surrender is often misunderstood because it can sound like defeat. It can sound like saying nothing matters. It can sound like walking away from your dreams. It can sound like becoming passive while life makes every choice for you. But true surrender is not the end of effort. It is the end of fighting what you cannot control. Giving up says, there is no reason to continue. Surrender says, I will continue without destroying my peace. Giving up closes the heart. Surrender opens the hand. Giving up leaves your power. Surrender returns your power to the places where it can truly be used. My dear, you can stop fighting the whole world and still take care of your life. You can release one result and still honor your desire. You can accept what is happening today without deciding that it will remain forever. You can stop forcing a person and still speak honestly. You can stop chasing an opportunity and still prepare for the next one. You can rest without leaving your path. This is the strength of surrender. Imagine that you are standing in a doorway. Behind you is a room you know very well. It is the room of pressure, checking, proving, fixing, and overthinking. You have spent a long time there. You know every corner. You know the sound of your own worry moving through it. In front of you is another room. You cannot see every detail inside. The light is different. The space feels open. You do not know where everything will lead. The old room feels painful but familiar. The new room feels peaceful but unknown. This is why people return to old patterns. Familiar pain can feel safer than new peace. Stay. You do not need to rush through the doorway. Simply notice that it is open. My dear, fear may stand beside you and speak. Fear says, if I stop pushing, everything will fall apart. Love answers, what if some things can fall into place only after I stop holding them in the wrong position? Fear says, if I release control, I may lose what I want. Love answers, if I keep forcing, I may lose myself. Fear says, I need to know what happens next. Love answers, I need to stay true to myself in this moment. Both voices may live inside you. You do not need to fight fear. You can listen, understand its concern, and choose not to let it lead. Fear wants certainty. Love wants honesty. Fear wants control. Love wants presence. Fear says that peace must wait. Love says peace can guide the next step. No struggle. Feel your feet against the floor. Notice the heel, the toes, and the steady surface beneath them. Feel the back of your body supported by the chair, wall, or bed. Notice the air around your ankles. Notice the space between your fingers. You are standing at the doorway, but you are no tea falling. There is ground beneath you. There is support behind you. There is space in front of you. This is what surrender can feel like. Not an empty fall, but a quiet return to what is real. My dear, there are 3 simple questions that can help you know what to do when you feel pulled between effort and release. Is this mine to act on? Is this mine to communicate? Is this mine to release? The first question brings you back to your power. Is this mine to act on? Perhaps you need to complete the work. Perhaps you need to ask for help. Perhaps you need to make the appointment, organize the plan, send the honest message, or change the way you are caring for yourself. Action matters. But action is not the same as panic. Clear action has a beginning and an end. You do what belongs to you, then you stop. Fearful action keeps going. It adds another message, another explanation, another plan, another hour of thought. Ask yourself whether the action will create clarity or only feed fear. The second question is this: is this mine to communicate? Sometimes you are not meant to stay silent. Surrender does not mean accepting poor treatment. It does not mean hiding what you feel. It does not mean smiling while your heart is hurting. You may need to say, "This does not work for me." You may need to say, "I need more clarity." You may need to say, I cannot continue in this way. You may need to say, this is what I am able to offer. Honest communication is not control. It becomes control only when you believe your words must force the other person to respond in the way you want. Your job is to speak your truth with care. Their response belongs to them. My dear, this can be painful to accept. You may speak clearly and still not receive the answer you wanted. You may set a boundary and lose a connection. You may tell the truth and discover that someone is not ready to meet you there. But silence does not protect a relationship that depends on you hiding yourself. Surrender does not ask you to disappear. It asks you to stop trying to control what happens after you become honest. The third question is this: is this mine to release? Some things cannot be solved by more effort. Some situations have shown you their truth. Some people have made their choice. Some doors have closed. Some answers are not available. Release does not mean you did not care. It means you have reached the point where carrying it is harming you. You may need to release the need to be understood by everyone. You may need to release the idea that a certain person must become different. You may need to release the exact date by which your life must change. You may need to release the belief that one lost chance was your only chance. You may need to release the version of yourself who thought life would look different by now. These releases may bring sadness. That sadness deserves kindness. You are not becoming cold. You are making space for reality, and reality can hurt before it frees you. I remain present without forcing. I take care of what belongs to me. I release what life must arrange. My dear, there is a deep peace in knowing where your role ends. You may plant the seed, but you cannot order it to grow by morning. You may open the conversation, but you cannot control the other person's heart. You may apply for the work, but you cannot enter every room where the decision is being made. You may care for your body, but you cannot command every day to feel the same. You may choose love, but you cannot build a healthy bond alone. Knowing this is not hopeless. It is freeing. It allows your energy to return to you. Think of how much of your mind has been living in places you cannot control, in someone else's thoughts, in a future meeting, in an answer that has not arrived, in a result that may change, in an old conversation you keep trying to rewrite. Your body is here, but your energy has been scattered across many rooms. Surrender calls it home. It says, come back to your own life. Come back to the food in front of you. Come back to the person who is speaking to you now. Come back to the task that needs your hands. Come back to the tiredness asking for rest. Come back to the truth you already know. My dear, this is not a small thing. Returning to yourself is one of the strongest choices you can make. When you stop chasing every possible result, you can hear what you truly want. When you stop trying to please everyone, you can feel what is right for you. When you stop forcing a closed path, you can notice the open space beside it. When you stop living in imagined futures, today becomes available. Surrender does not remove desire. It removes the war around desire. You can still want love. You can still want change. You can still want a better life. You can still work toward what matters. But you no longer say, I cannot be at peace until this happens. You say, I will walk toward what matters without leaving myself behind. That is a sacred promise. It changes the way you act. You stop sending words you do not mean. You stop accepting things that make you smaller. You stop making fast choices to escape temporary fear. You stop treating every delay as proof that life is against you. You become more careful with your energy. You begin to understand that your energy is part of your life. Where you place it matters. What you feed with your attention grows stronger inside your experience. If you feed worry all day, worry becomes the loudest voice. If you feed self-respect, self-respect begins to guide your choices. If you feed patience, patience creates room for wisdom. If you feed clear action, your path becomes less crowded by fear. My dear, there may be a part of you that still wants a promise. It wants someone to say that if you surrender, everything will happen exactly as you hope. No honest voice can promise that. Surrender is not a way to secretly control the result. It is not a trick that makes life obey you. It is a way to live with dignity while the result remains unknown. This is why surrender is brave. It asks you to trust yourself without having every answer. It asks you to remain open without demanding proof. It asks you to take the next true step without seeing the whole path. It asks you to accept that life may bring something different from your first plan. Different does not always mean worse. A changed path is not always a lost path. An ending is not always a punishment. A delay is not always rejection. An unanswered question is not always a sign to try harder. Sometimes the kindest movement is to stop touching what needs space. Stay at the doorway for a moment. Behind you is the old room. You can hear the familiar thoughts. Do more. Think more. Fix it now. Do not rest. Do not trust. Keep watching. In front of you is a quieter room. It does not promise that nothing difficult will happen. It offers something deeper. It offers the chance to meet difficulty without turning against yourself. It offers the chance to act from truth instead of fear. It offers the chance to live without making every uncertain moment your enemy. My dear, you do not need to understand the whole new room before entering it. You need only enough courage to stop returning to the place that has exhausted you. Feel the floor beneath your feet. Feel the air around your body. Feel the doorway open. The next room does not require a perfect version of you. It does not require you to have no fear. It asks only that you bring your honesty with you. You can carry your dreams. You can carry your wisdom. You can carry the lessons you have learned, but the pressure can remain behind. The need to know everything can remain behind. The belief that love must be chaste can remain behind. The idea that rest must be earned can remain behind. Stand here without rushing. There is more ahead, but you do not need to pull it toward you. The path can meet your next step. There are seasons when nothing seems to be moving, yet something important is still happening. You may look at your life and see no clear answer. The message has not arrived. The opportunity has not opened. The change you hoped for is still far away. You may have done everything you knew how to do, and now you are standing in a quiet place where effort no longer gives you a clear result. This is often where the mind becomes impatient. It begins to ask whether you have been forgotten. It tells you that time is running out. It shows you other people moving forward and asks why your path still feels slow. It turns a quiet season into proof that something is wrong. But a quiet season is not always an empty season. My dear, some of the deepest changes in life happen before there is anything visible to show for them. Think of what happens beneath the soil. For a long time, the surface may look unchanged. There is no flower to admire. There is no green leaf to prove. That growth has begun. The ground looks still. Yet below that surface, roots may be spreading. They are finding strength. They are learning where the water is. They are creating support for what will rise later. If you pulled at the soil every day to check whether the roots were growing, you would disturb the very process you wanted to help. Your life may be asking for the same kind of patience, not blind waiting, not empty hope. A deeper patience that understands that visible results are not the only kind of progress. You may be building stronger judgment. You may be learning to recognize what does not fit you anymore. You may be becoming less willing to accept mixed signals, poor treatment, or choices that cost you your peace. You may be learning how to stay with yourself when an answer is delayed. You may be discovering that your life does not end when one plan changes. These changes may not look exciting from the outside, but they are roots beneath the surface, still growing. My dear, you may be asking for something good while also learning how to receive it in a healthier way. You may want love, but life may be teaching you not to lose yourself inside another person. You may want success, but life may be helping you build habits that can support it. You may want more money, but life may be showing you where fear controls your choices. You may want peace, But life may be asking you to stop returning to places that keep reopening the same wound. You may want a new beginning, but life may be helping you finish an old lesson first. This does not mean that every delay has a hidden reward. It does not mean you must pretend that waiting is easy. Some delays are painful. Some closed paths hurt. Some seasons feel unfair. You are allowed to feel that. You are allowed to be disappointed without deciding that life has turned against you. You are allowed to feel tired without calling yourself weak. You are allowed to wish things were different while still respecting what this moment is teaching you. There is no need to force yourself into false happiness. Honest trust does not say everything feels wonderful. It says, I do not understand this yet, but I will not use this moment as proof that nothing good can happen. That is a quiet kind of courage. Something is becoming clearer. Something is becoming stronger. Something is leaving your old pattern. Something is preparing a new way forward. You may not be able to name it today. That does not mean it is not real. My dear, impatience often comes from looking only at the surface. You look for the flower, the answer, the result, the proof. You want something you can point to and say, now I know it was worth it. But the strongest part of growth may be happening where no one can clap for you. It happens when you choose not to send the message that would cost you your dignity. It happens when you rest instead of punishing your body. It happens when you tell the truth, even though, the truth may change a relationship. It happens when you stop calling confusion a sign to try harder. It happens when you begin to believe that your worth does not rise and fall with someone else's attention. These are not small changes. They are the roots of a different life. The old version of you may have accepted anything that felt like a chance. The new version of you is learning to ask whether the chance also feels honest. The old version may have rushed because silence felt frightening. The new version is learning that silence can hold useful information. The old version may have stayed because leaving felt like failure. The new version is learning that changing direction can be an act of wisdom. This inner change takes time. You cannot rush it without returning to the same patterns you are trying to leave. What is growing in my life has its own rhythm. I do not pull at the roots. I allow steady growth. Let these words be simple. You do not need to turn patience into another performance. You do not need to act calm while your mind is struggling. You only need to give yourself a little more space before you decide that nothing is happening. My dear, there is a difference between waiting for life and participating in your own growth. Waiting for life says, I will do nothing until the answer appears. Participation says, while the answer forms, I will care for what is in front of me. You can clean the room you are in. You can finish the work that belongs to today. You can care for your body. You can learn what you need to learn. You can have the conversation you have been avoiding. You can protect your energy. You can make your life more honest, even before the larger result arrives. This is how trust becomes practical. It does not ask you to stare at the future. It brings you back to the day you are living. Notice the evening air near the window. Notice the soft weight of a blanket over your knees. Notice the faint sound from another room. Notice how the light changes as the day moves toward night. Life is happening now. Not only when the answer comes, not only when the relationship changes, not only when the money improves, not only when you finally feel certain. Now, you are still here. You are still learning. You are still becoming. My dear, ask yourself what this season may be strengthening inside you. Not why it is punishing you. Not why everyone else seems ahead. Ask what it is asking you to see. Perhaps it is showing you that you have been too willing to accept less. Perhaps it is teaching you that peace must become part of your decisions. Perhaps it is making you slower because speed has caused you to ignore your own needs. Perhaps it is helping you build a life that does not depend on one person, one answer, or one plan. Perhaps it is asking you to become your own safe place. You do not need to force an answer to this question. Let it remain open. An open question can be more useful than a rushed answer. My dear, there may also be things moving around you that you cannot see. Other people may be making choices. New information may be forming. An opportunity may still be taking shape. A path may be closing because it cannot carry you where you need to go. You cannot see every part of life at once. You see the piece in front of you. Your mind may judge the whole story from one difficult page. But one page is not the whole story. One delay is not your whole future. One rejection is not the final word on your worth. One quiet month is not proof that your life has stopped. One changed plan is not the end of possibility. There are things you will understand only later. This does not mean you must wait for the future before you can feel peace. It means you can stop demanding that the present explain everything immediately. Some meaning arrives slowly. Some clarity needs distance. Some answers become visible only after you have stopped looking at them through fear. My dear, imagine standing beside a garden at night. You cannot see the roots. You cannot see every small movement in the soil. You do not hear the seed opening, yet the darkness does not stop the process. The seed does not need your worry. The soil does not need your pressure. The roots do not need you to pull them upward. They need time, care, water, and space. Your own growth may need the same. Care for what you can care for. Give attention to what is alive today. Remove what keeps harming the ground. Stop digging in places where nothing healthy can grow. Trust that your steady choices matter, even when there is no quick reward. This kind of trust is not loud. It does not need to announce itself. It appears in small choices. It appears when you stop checking the same answer. It appears when you choose sleep over another hour of worry. It appears when you say no to what looks familiar but feels wrong. It appears when you keep your heart open without handing your peace to anyone. My dear, you may feel that you should be farther ahead. You may look at your age, your work, your relationships, or your dreams and feel that the timing is wrong. But growth is not a race that everyone begins from the same place. Your path has its own lessons. Your healing has its own pace. Your life has its own shape. Comparing the surface of your life with the surface of someone else's life tells you very little about what is happening underneath. You do not know which roots they had before you noticed their flower. You do not know what their growth has cost them. You do not know whether the path you admire would bring peace to your own heart. Return to your ground. Return to what is yours. The evening may be quiet, but the garden is not dead. The answer may be delayed, but you are not without direction. Your direction today may simply be to become more honest, more rested, and less willing to force what cannot be forced. That is still movement. My dear, before the day ends, give yourself 3 quiet minutes. Ask what you tried to force today. Ask what move. Without your pressure. Ask what can remain unfinished until tomorrow. Do not judge the answers. You may notice that some things became easier when you stopped touching them. You may notice that your body asked for rest long before you listened. You may notice that one worry has been taking the energy of the whole day. Write it down if that helps you. Hold it in your mind if writing feels like another task. Then allow the day to end. The work that belongs to tomorrow can wait for tomorrow. The conversation that needs a calmer heart can wait for a calmer heart. The future does not need to be solved before you sleep. Still growing, even now. What is unseen is not always absent. What is quiet is not always lost. What is slow is not always wrong. You are learning how to respect the part of life that forms before it appears, and this respect will change the way you wait. The mind may say it is only thinking, but the body knows when you have been fighting life. It knows through the jaw that never fully rests. It knows through the shoulders that stay lifted. It knows through the stomach that tightens when the phone makes a sound. It knows through the restless movement of your hands. It knows through the tiredness that follows you even when the day has not been physically hard. Forcing becomes more than a thought when it is repeated long enough. It becomes a body habit. My dear, your body may have been preparing for problems that never arrived. It may have stayed alert while you were eating, working, resting, or trying to sleep. Even in quiet moments, part of you may have been listening for danger, a changed tone, a delayed answer. a new bill, a difficult conversation, a feeling that something may go wrong. Your body does not always know the difference between a problem happening now and a problem being imagined again and again. If your mind keeps showing it danger, the body may keep preparing to survive. This is why telling yourself to calm down often does not work. The body needs more than a command. It needs signs of safety. Imagine your body as a house. For a long time, every room has been lit. Every door has been checked. Every window has been watched. Even when the night is quiet, the house remains awake because it has forgotten what rest feels like. You do not need to turn off every light at once. You can begin with one room. Unclench. Notice your mouth. Allow the teeth to stop pressing together. Let the tongue rest instead of holding itself tightly. Notice the small space this creates. You are not asking the whole body to change. You are showing one part of it that it does not have to work so hard in this moment. My dear, now notice the shoulders. They may have been carrying words you did not say. They may have been carrying tasks you were afraid to refuse. They may have been carrying another person's feelings. They may have been carrying the future as if it were a heavy bag. Allow them to lower only as much as feels natural. There is no need to force relaxation. Forcing the body to relax is still force. Offer permission instead. The chair can hold more of your weight. The bed can hold more of your weight. The floor can hold more of your weight. You do not have to hold yourself above the support that is already here. Safe here. Not safe forever. Not safe from every possible event. Safe in this present moment. This moment does not contain every future fear. It contains the air above your collarbones. It contains the fabric touching your wrist. It contains the weight of your head against the pillow or chair. It contains the warmth beginning to return to your hands. Come back to what is here. My dear, many people try to solve emotional pressure only through thought. They read more, plan more, analyze more, and look for the perfect idea that will make fear disappear. But fear may not need another idea. It may need a slower evening. It may need food. It may need sleep. It may need a walk without a phone. It may need a clear boundary. It may need the truth. It may need you to stop placing yourself in the same painful situation and calling the pain something you must learn to tolerate. Your body often knows when your life is asking too much from you. It may become tired before you admit you need rest. It may become tense before you admit you feel unsafe around someone. It may become heavy before you admit that your work no longer fits you. It may become restless before you admit that you have been ignoring an important decision. The body is not always giving you a complete answer, but it gives useful information. Listen without fear. You do not need to treat every feeling as a warning. You can treat it as a message asking for attention. My body is allowed to leave the struggle. This moment does not demand an answer. I make room for peace. My dear, these words do not mean that every problem has disappeared. They mean you are no longer asking your body to live inside the problem every hour of the day. You can have a concern without becoming the concern. You can face uncertainty without keeping every muscle prepared for disaster. You can care about tomorrow without leaving today. For 1 minute, allow the body to receive a few quiet signs. Notice the support beneath you. Notice the temperature of the air. Notice whether your hands can rest more fully. Notice whether your eyes can soften their focus. Nothing needs to become perfect. The goal is not to create a special state. The goal is to show the body that it can move one small step away from the struggle. My dear, before you try to change your thoughts, there is something your body needs to hear. You are not required to solve your whole life in this moment. Not tonight. Not while sitting here. Not while your heart is tired. Some choices should not be made from a body that believes it is in danger. Some messages should not be sent while your hands are shaking. Some conclusions should not be reached in the middle of exhaustion. A tired mind often turns uncertainty into disaster. A frightened body often turns silence into rejection. Rest can change the way a problem looks. Time can change the meaning of a conversation. Food can change the strength of a fearful thought. A quiet hour can bring back a part of your judgment that worry pushed aside. This is not avoiding the issue. It is meeting the issue with more of yourself available. My dear, your body is the home in which every dream must live. If you treat it like a machine that must keep performing, even good things may feel heavy. You may receive the opportunity but have no energy to enjoy it. You may enter the relationship but remain afraid inside it. You may reach the goal, but immediately look for the next problem. Receiving becomes difficult when the body has learned that it must always stay ready. This is why releasing force from the body matters. It is not only about feeling calm for a few minutes. It is about becoming able to live inside your own life. Imagine walking through the rooms of your inner house. In one room, there are unfinished conversations. In another, there are old fears. In another, there is pressure to succeed. In another, there is sadness you have not had time to feel. You do not need to clean the whole house tonight. Choose one room. Perhaps the room that needs care is sleep. Perhaps it is the way you speak to yourself after a mistake. Perhaps it is the way you keep returning to someone who brings confusion. Perhaps it is the amount of work you accept because you fear disappointing people. Perhaps it is the belief that rest must be earned. My dear, what would it mean to bring peace into that one room? It may mean turning off the phone earlier. It may mean asking for help. It may mean saying no without writing a long explanation. It may mean allowing sadness to be present without trying to fix it. It may mean doing less and noticing that the world does not fall apart. The body learns from experience. Each time you keep a boundary, it learns that you will protect it. Each time you rest before breaking down, it learns that its needs matter. Each time you choose a calm answer instead of a fearful reaction, it learns that not every feeling must become an action. Each time you step away from harm, it learns that you will not leave it trapped. This is how safety grows. Not through one perfect moment, through many small acts of self-respect. My dear, there may be feelings inside you that become clearer when the body softens. You may discover that beneath anger there is hurt. Beneath impatience there may be fear. Beneath overworking there may be a belief that you are not enough unless you are useful. Beneath chasing there may be loneliness. Beneath control there may be grief for the time when you had no control at all. These feelings do not need to be pushed away. They need room. A cup that is already full cannot receive more. If your inner cup is filled with fear, pressure, old pain, and the need to manage everything, there may be little space left for rest, love, clear ideas, and simple joy. You do not have to empty the whole cup at once. Set down one worry that does not belong to tonight. Release one responsibility that belongs to another adult. Stop carrying one imagined conversation. Allow one unfinished task to remain unfinished. The space created may seem small. Small space is still space. My dear, there is no reward for staying tense when the danger is not here. There is no proof of love in losing sleep over someone else's choices. There is no wisdom in thinking about the same problem until your body becomes sick with fear. Your care can remain. Your love can remain. Your goals can remain. The struggle does not have to remain with them. This is an important difference. You are not releasing what matters. You are releasing the pain you attach to what matters. You can want a clear answer without checking every 5 minutes. You can want change without hating today. You can want closeness without chasing someone who keeps moving away. You can want success without treating your body like an enemy. Softness does not remove strength. It changes the way strength feels. My dear, notice the warmth in your palms now. Notice the weight of the arms. Notice whether the breath is moving a little lower than before. Notice the place where the body meets the support beneath it. You do not need to hold yourself apart from life. You can be held by simple things: a chair, a bed, a wall, the ground, the quiet sound in the room. These forms of support may seem ordinary, but they remind the body of something important. You are not carrying yourself alone. Safe here. The house does not need every light on. One room can become quiet, then another may follow when it is ready. The cup does not need to be emptied through force. You can pour out what no longer belongs there with care. You are not creating emptiness. You are creating room. And room is where a new choice can enter. Once the body has a little more space, the next step becomes easier to see. Not the whole path, not the final result, only the next honest step. My dear, letting life support you does not mean sitting still while your own choices remain undone. Surrender is not waiting for someone else to live your life. It is learning how to act without fear, running ahead of you. There is action that comes from clarity. There is action that comes from panic. They may look similar from the outside, but they feel very different inside. Fearful action says, I must do this now or everything will be lost. Clear action says, this belongs to me and I am ready to do it. Fearful action keeps checking after the action is complete. Clear action knows when to stop. Fearful action tries to control the result. Clear action respects the effort and releases the rest. You may have spent years believing that more action always means more progress. But action without direction can become another form of running. You send another message, you make another plan, you begin another project, you ask another person. You change your mind because the answer did not come quickly. Movement can look like progress while taking you farther from your own truth. My dear, imagine a bridge in front of you. You cannot cross it by staring at the other side. You cannot cross it by planning every possible step for the next 10 years. You cross it by placing one foot where the path is clear. One step, then another step becomes visible. You do not need to run across the bridge to prove that you trust it. You can move with care. There may be one email to send. There may be one application to complete. There may be one bill to review. There may be one boundary to speak. There may be 1 hour of work that matters more than the 10 hours of worry around it. There may be one honest rest that helps more than forcing yourself through another tired day. One step can be calm. One step can be clear. One step can honor your future. One step can be enough for today. My dear, ask what action would still feel right if you were not trying to impress anyone. What would you do if you did not need to prove your worth? What would you choose if you trusted that a slow step still counted? What would you stop doing if fear were not in charge? These questions bring you closer to honest movement. The honest step may not be the most dramatic one. It may be sending a short, clear message instead of a long, emotional one. It may be beginning the first page instead of designing the whole future. It may be asking for information instead of making a fearful guess. It may be leaving the phone alone and going to sleep. It may be admitting that the path you have been forcing is not the path you want anymore. My dear, the honest step often brings both relief and discomfort. It feels relieving because it is true. It feels uncomfortable because truth may ask you to leave an old habit. You may know that you need to speak, but fear the response. You may know that you need to wait, but fear being forgotten. You may know that you need to leave, but fear the empty space. You may know that you need to begin, but fear not being perfect. Courage does not remove this discomfort. It helps you move without making discomfort the leader. I act without chasing. I move without fear leading me. The next clear step is enough. My dear, think of the difference between knocking on a door and trying to break it down. Knocking is action. You show up. You make your presence known. You allow the answer to come. Breaking the door is force. You act as if the only good result is the one you have chosen. You ignore what the door is telling you. You spend your strength fighting something that may be guiding you elsewhere. Many areas of life ask you to knock. You can apply, you can invite, you can ask, you can offer, you can tell the truth. Then you listen to the response. A clear no may hurt, but it gives direction. A continued silence may also give direction. A yes that asks you to betray yourself is not the right yes. Action must remain connected to self-respect. My dear, choose one useful action for the next 24 hours, not 10 actions, not a complete plan for the next year. One action. Make it small enough to complete. Make it honest enough to matter. Perhaps it is writing the first paragraph. Perhaps it is making the appointment. Perhaps it is organizing the papers. Perhaps it is asking one clear question. Perhaps it is saying, I need time to think. Perhaps it is closing the laptop and caring for your tired body. The size of the action does not decide its value. A small true step can change more than a large fearful move. Then rest. Do not immediately demand proof that the step worked. Do not stare at the seed after placing it in the ground. Do not turn action into another reason to control. Complete what belongs to you. Allow the result to have its own movement. My dear, there is a form of chasing that looks like hard work. It appears when you keep adding effort because you do not trust what you have already done. You rewrite the message many times after it was clear. You keep explaining after the other person has understood. You continue working after the useful part is finished. You ask for advice from many people because one answer did not remove uncertainty. You keep moving because stillness would ask you to feel. This is where action loses its honesty. The next step is no longer about progress. It is about escaping fear. You can stop when the step is complete. You can allow a message to stand. You can allow your work to be enough for the day. You can allow another person to decide. You can allow the silence after your action. This silence is part of the bridge. It is the space between one step and the next. My dear, think of the one area where you have been forcing the hardest. If you want to make this choice real, write, "I choose a gentler way," and name the area in 1 or 2 words. Let the words be simple. You are not making a promise to become perfect. You are choosing a different relationship with effort. A gentler way still includes discipline. It still includes responsibility. It still includes difficult conversations. It still includes days when you would rather avoid the work. Gentleness is not the absence of commitment. It is commitment without cruelty. It is discipline without self-hate. It is movement without panic. It is effort that remembers you are a human being. My dear, you may fear that a gentler way will make you slow, but fear has already taken a great deal of your time. Think of the hours spent imagining every result. Think of the energy spent checking, doubting, and beginning again. Think of the days lost to recovering from choices made in panic. Clear action may be slower in the first moment, but it often creates less damage to repair. It saves energy. It protects trust in yourself. It helps you stay on the path long enough to see where it leads. There is wisdom in steady movement. The staircase does not ask you to reach the top in one step. Each step holds its own place. You do not call the first step a failure because it is not the final one. You use it. Then you rise from there. My dear, the same is true in your life. The honest conversation is one step. The answer is another. The choice that follows is another. The healing after the choice is another. You are not meant to live all of them in one day. You can meet the step under your feet. This is where your power lives, not in controlling the whole staircase. In choosing how you stand on this step, you can stand with dignity. You can stand with patience. You can stand with a clear heart. You can stand without shouting at the future to hurry. One step. My dear, some steps will look like movement and some will look like stillness. A day of rest may be the step that prevents you from losing yourself. A quiet week may be the step that helps you hear what you truly want. Not replying may be the step that ends an old pattern. Asking for help may be the step that opens a path you could not build alone. Changing your mind may be the step that returns you to your truth. Do not judge the step only by how active it appears. Judge it by whether it is honest. Fear may say that rest means failure. Truth may say that your body cannot continue in the same way. Fear may say that saying no will close every door. Truth may say that the wrong doors have been taking all your energy. Fear may say that beginning small is not enough. Truth may say that small is how strong things begin. My dear, notice how your body responds to these two kinds of movement. Imagine doing something because you are afraid. Notice the pressure, notice the speed, notice the feeling that you must escape the present. Now imagine taking one step because it feels clear and necessary. There may still be nerves, but underneath them is a steadier feeling. The step may feel clean. It may feel simple. It may feel like something you can respect tomorrow. This difference matters. You are learning not to ask only, will this give me the result I want? You are learning to ask, is this the way I want to treat myself while I move toward it? The path matters. The way you speak to yourself matters. The way you care for your body matters. The way you respond to uncertainty matters. A result that requires you to abandon your whole self may not be the success you imagined. My dear, life can support you, but it cannot take the step that belongs to you. It can bring an idea, but you must decide whether to use it. It can place a person in your path, but you must choose how you show up. It can open an opportunity, but you must prepare yourself to enter. It can create a quiet moment, but you must allow yourself to listen. This is the meeting point between surrender and action. You are not alone. You are not powerless. You are not in control of everything. All three can be true. You can be supported without becoming passive. You can be powerful without trying to control everyone. You can move without knowing the entire result. My dear, when the next step appears, take it with care. When no clear step appears, do not invent one from panic. Care for the present. Keep your life ready for truth. Finish what belongs to today. Leave room for what has not yet been shown. The bridge will not reveal every board at once. The staircase will not place the top beneath your feet. The path will meet you through movement. Your work is to notice what is honest now. Then step there. After you stop rushing toward every answer, a quieter voice begins to return. It may not speak in a dramatic way. It may not give you a perfect plan. It may not explain the whole future. It may simply tell you what feels honest now. My dear, your inner voice can become difficult to hear when fear has been speaking all day. Fear is loud. It repeats itself. It creates many possible problems and asks you to solve every one of them before anything has even happened. Your deeper knowing often speaks differently. It may come as a simple feeling that something is no longer right for you. It may come as the sense that you need more time. It may come as a clear wish to step back. It may come as a quiet desire to begin something new. It may come as a truth you have known for a long time, but have been afraid to accept. This inner voice does not always remove uncertainty. It gives you a more honest place to stand inside it. Listen within. For a long time, you may have looked outside yourself before making a choice. You may have asked many people what they thought. You may have searched for signs, advice, approval, and permission. You may have believed that another person could see your life more clearly than you could. Advice can be useful. Support can help. A loving voice can show you something you missed. But no one else lives inside your body. No one else carries your exact history. No one else feels the full truth of what a choice is asking from you. My dear, when you depend only on outside voices, your own reflection can become unclear. Imagine looking into a mirror covered with steam. Your face is still there, but the image is difficult to see. You might try to wipe the glass quickly. You may become frustrated. You may decide the mirror is broken, but the mirror is not broken. It needs time to clear. Your inner sight may be the same. It has been covered by worry. It has been covered by other people's expectations. It has been covered by the need to make the perfect choice. It has been covered by fear of regret. You do not need to attack the mirror. You need to stop adding more steam. Clear enough. There is a difference between intuition and panic. Panic demands that you act before you have had time to think. Inner knowing may be quiet, but it remains. Panic tells you that something terrible will happen if you do not move now. Inner knowing points toward a truth, even if that truth is uncomfortable. Panic changes its story many times. Inner knowing often returns to the same simple message. Panic wants certainty. Inner knowing asks for honesty. My dear, this does not mean every calm thought is perfect guidance. It does not mean every strong feeling must be followed. Feelings are information, but they are not always complete instructions. You can listen to your feelings and still use wisdom. You can notice your body and still check the facts. You can honor your inner voice and still take time before acting. The goal is not to become someone who never makes a mistake. The goal is to stop leaving yourself out of your own decisions. I listen beneath the noise. I honor what feels honest and steady. I trust myself to choose with care. Let these words create space rather than pressure. You do not need to prove that you trust yourself by making a fast choice. Trust may ask you to slow down. Trust may ask you to gather more information. Trust may ask you to wait until your body is less tense. My dear, think of a choice you are facing. Do not try to solve it immediately. Imagine one path. Notice what happens inside you. There may be fear because the path is new. Fear does not always mean no. Sometimes fear appears when you are growing. Look underneath that fear. Is there a sense of truth? Is there a sense that this path respects who you are becoming? Is there a quiet feeling that even if it is difficult, it is honest? Now imagine the other path. Notice whether it brings peace or only temporary relief. Some choices feel safe because they are familiar, not because they are right. Some choices feel uncomfortable because they ask you to leave an old version of yourself. Your body may offer clues, but it does not need to give you a perfect answer. Notice the face reflected in the dark screen of your phone. Notice the light resting on your cheek. Notice the small movement of your chest. Notice the space behind your forehead when you stop trying to force a conclusion. You are not empty inside. You are listening. My dear, there are questions that help you hear yourself more clearly. Does this choice respect my peace? Does this choice require me to become less honest? Am I choosing from love, or am I trying to escape fear? Will I respect the way I treated myself when I look back on this moment? These questions do not guarantee an easy result. They help you remain connected to yourself. You may still choose a path that brings difficulty. A true choice is not always a comfortable choice. Sometimes the honest step is the one that asks you to grow. The difference is that you are not betraying yourself to take it. You are not saying yes while your whole heart is saying no. You are not staying because you fear being alone. You are not leaving only because closeness feels frightening. You are not making a promise you cannot keep. You are not accepting less because you doubt that anything better can exist. My dear, inner trust is built through small moments. It grows when you notice discomfort and do not silence it. It grows when you say what you mean. It grows when you change your mind after receiving new information. It grows when you admit that you need help. It grows when you stop pretending that something feels right when it does not. Each honest choice tells you, I will listen to myself. This does not mean you will always know what to do. Sometimes two choices will both carry uncertainty. Sometimes the answer will remain unclear. In those moments, you can choose the path that allows you to remain kind, truthful, and open to learning. You do not need to know everything to make one careful decision. You need enough truth for the step in front of you. My dear, many people wait for a sign so strong that doubt becomes impossible. But life rarely works that way. There may always be a part of you that wonders. There may always be another possible result. There may always be someone who would choose differently. Clarity does not always mean the absence of doubt. Sometimes clarity is the decision to move with the truth you have while remaining willing to adjust. The mirror becomes clearer when you stop demanding a perfect image. You begin to see your real face, not the face others expect, not the face fear creates, your own face, your own needs, your own values, your own limits. There is great peace in recognizing yourself. My dear, you may discover that you have known the truth for a while. You may have known that a relationship was asking too much from you. You may have known that your work was draining your spirit. You may have known that a dream still mattered even after you tried to forget it. You may have known that you needed rest. You may have known that you were waiting for an apology that might never come. Knowing the truth does not always make action easy. Sometimes you avoid the truth because you know it will ask something from you. It may ask you to disappoint someone. It may ask you to begin again. It may ask you to accept a loss. It may ask you to take responsibility. It may ask you to stop waiting for another person to change. This is why listening to yourself requires courage. The truth is not always gentle in the first moment, but it can lead you toward a gentler life. My dear, do not confuse inner guidance with a promise that every choice will feel good. A boundary may feel sad. A new beginning may feel lonely. A clear no may leave an empty space. A true yes may ask you to leave what is familiar. The feeling of loss does not always mean the choice is wrong. Sometimes loss is part of making room for what is more honest. You can grieve and still move forward. You can miss something and still know it was not right for you. You can love someone and still choose distance. You can feel afraid and still choose the path that respects your life. Listen within. Your inner voice does not need to shout over the whole world. It needs a few quiet moments where you stop arguing with it. My dear, when you feel confused, notice whether you are asking the same question again because you truly need more information or because you do not like the answer you already received. This is an honest question. Sometimes confusion is real. Sometimes confusion is the mind's way of avoiding a painful truth. You may keep searching because you hope someone will give you the answer you want. You may keep waiting because accepting the answer would require change. You may keep analyzing because thinking feels safer than choosing. There is no shame in this. Change can be frightening. But peace often begins when you stop asking truth to become something else. Clear enough. You do not need perfect confidence. You need enough self-respect to stop walking against what you know. My dear, if the answer is still uncertain, give it space. A quiet answer does not become clearer when you chase it. Live your day. Care for your body. Complete what belongs to you. Return to the question later with a calmer mind. Some truths arrive when you stop standing over them. The mirror clears when the air changes. Your role is not to force the image. Your role is to remain near enough to see when it appears. You are learning how to hear what feels true, not what keeps everyone pleased, not what removes every risk, not what promises the fastest result, what feels honest, what protects your dignity, what allows you to look at yourself with respect. My dear, your life does not need to be built from fear of making the wrong choice. It can be built from willingness to keep listening, learning, and adjusting. You will not lose your whole path because of one imperfect step. You are allowed to grow after a choice. You are allowed to receive new information. You are allowed to begin again. The trust you are building is not trust that you will always be right. It is trust that you will remain present even when you need to change direction. That trust is steady. That trust is real. That trust brings you home to yourself. There is a difference between wanting something deeply and believing you must lose yourself to receive it. You can care, you can hope, you can work, you can remain open, but you do not need to beg life to prove that you are worthy. My dear, desperation often begins when one result becomes connected to your value. If the person chooses you, you feel lovable. If the opportunity arrives, you feel capable. If the money comes, you feel secure. If the plan works, you feel that you made the right choices. But when the answer is delayed, your whole sense of self begins to shake. You do not only fear losing the result, you fear what the loss may say about you. This is why chasing can feel so powerful. You're not always chasing the person, the job, or the answer. You may be chasing the feeling of being enough. No begging. Your worth was never hidden inside another person's decision. It was never placed inside one closed door. It was never waiting at the end of one perfect plan. It was not created by success, and it cannot be destroyed by delay. My dear, this truth may be difficult to feel when you have spent years measuring yourself through results. You may know in your mind that you have value, but your body may still panic when something does not choose you. You may tell yourself that you are enough, then spend the whole night wondering why someone did not respond. You may understand self-respect, then accept less because you fear the empty space that may follow a clear boundary. Healing this pattern takes honesty. It asks you to notice where you are still asking the outside world to give you an identity. Imagine a magnet. A magnet does not run through the room, begging every object to come closer. It holds its nature. It remains where it is. What responds to it moves according to what it is made to meet. Your life is not exactly like a magnet. You are not responsible for attracting every event through your thoughts. Difficult things are not proof that you had the wrong energy. But the image can teach you something simple. When you stand inside your values, you become clearer about what truly fits you. You stop reaching for everything. You stop calling every chance the right chance. You stop trying to create closeness with people who do not offer honesty. You begin to recognize what meets you with respect. My dear, what belongs in your life should not require you to become smaller than you are. Healthy love does not require endless guessing. Right work does not require you to destroy your health to prove commitment. Real support does not punish you for having needs. A true opportunity may challenge you, but it will not ask you to abandon every part of yourself. This does not mean good things are always easy. Relationships require communication. Work requires effort. Growth can be uncomfortable. Commitment asks for patience. But there is a difference between healthy effort and losing yourself. Healthy effort helps both sides become clearer. Desperate effort keeps you trying to earn what is never freely offered. You do not need to beg for clear love. You do not need to shrink for belonging. You do not need to exhaust yourself for worth. You do not need to chase what asks you to betray yourself. Stand gently. Do not turn these words into anger. This is not about proving that you need no one. You are allowed to need connection. You are allowed to want support. You are allowed to feel disappointed when someone cannot meet you. Self-worth does not make you cold. It helps you stop using pain as a price for closeness. My dear, there is one form of forcing that can be difficult to notice because it often looks like hope. It is the hope that one exact person, one exact date, or one exact result must become the answer. Hope is beautiful when it keeps the heart open. Hope becomes painful when it closes every other path. You may hold so tightly to one form that you cannot see what the experience is showing you. You may say, "This must work," when the situation has brought confusion again and again. You may say, "This must be the right path," because you have already given it so much time. You may say, "It has to happen by this date," because waiting without a promise feels frightening. You may say, "There can be no other way," because beginning again feels painful. My dear, attachment to one exact form can become another kind of prison. You stop asking whether the path is healthy. You ask only how to keep it. You stop noticing what the person is actually offering. You focus on what they might offer one day. You stop listening to your own needs. You become busy trying to prove that your hope was correct. This is not peace. It is fear wearing the clothes of devotion. You do not have to stop hoping. You can widen your hope. Instead of saying, "This one person must love me," you can say, "I am open to love that is clear and mutual." Instead of saying, "This one job must save me," you can say, "I am willing to find work that respects my needs and uses my gifts." Instead of saying, "My life must change by this exact date," you can say, "I will keep moving with care and stay open to paths I cannot see yet." Wider hope gives life more room. It also gives you more room. I do not chase proof of my worth. I welcome what meets me with truth. I remain open without abandoning myself. My dear, notice what happens in your body when you are waiting for proof. The stomach may drop when you check for a reply. The mouth may become dry. Heat may move across your face. The silence after another unanswered question may feel heavy. These are signs that your sense of safety has become tied to an outside answer. Meet yourself in that moment. Do not attack the feeling. Do not tell yourself that you should not care. Say, "This matters to me, but it does not decide my value." Say, "I can be disappointed without becoming unworthy." Say, "I can want an answer without chasing it." These are not empty words. They are a way of separating desire from identity. My dear, when you know your worth, you still feel pain. You simply stop using pain as evidence against yourself. A rejection may hurt, but it does not become a judgment on your whole life. A person's distance may bring sadness, but it does not mean you are impossible to love. A lost opportunity may require change, but it does not mean you have no gifts. A delay may create fear, but it does not mean you have been forgotten. This is what inner strength looks like, not a life without disappointment, a self that remains present through disappointment. My dear, you may have been taught to admire the person who never gives up, but wisdom includes knowing what deserves continued effort. Some things need more patience. Some things need a new approach. Some things need a clear conversation. Some things need to end. Staying forever is not always strength. Trying harder is not always love. Holding on is not always faith. There are moments when the most loving choice is to accept what the situation has shown you. You can release one path without releasing your whole dream. You can walk away from confusion without walking away from love. You can leave one job without leaving your purpose. You can change one plan without losing your future. One closed form does not close the whole field of possibility. My dear, alignment is not about becoming perfect enough to receive good things. It is about bringing your choices closer to what you say matters. If peace matters, your choices cannot keep feeding chaos. If honesty matters, your relationships cannot depend on pretending. If health matters, your goals cannot demand endless harm to your body. If self-respect matters, you cannot keep offering yourself where there is no care. Alignment is a quiet agreement between your values and your actions. When that agreement becomes stronger, you recognize what does not belong more quickly. You also become more able to receive what does. You do not question healthy love because it is calm. You do not distrust a clear opportunity because it did not require pain. You do not create trouble in a peaceful season because struggle feels familiar. You allow goodness to be simple. My dear, some people are more comfortable chasing than receiving. Chasing gives them a job. It gives them something to solve. Receiving asks them to be seen. Receiving asks them to believe that they do not need to earn every good thing through pain. Receiving asks them to stay present when life is kind. That can feel unfamiliar. You may know how to work for love, but not how to rest inside it. You may know how to fight for success, but not how to enjoy it. You may know how to survive difficulty, but not how to trust peace. There is nothing wrong with you. You are learning a new way. Stand gently inside what is good. Do not look for the hidden problem before it appears. Do not push away clear care because you are waiting for confusion. Do not create a test for every person who treats you well. You can use wisdom without expecting harm. My dear, what is right for you will still ask something from you. It may ask for honesty. It may ask for patience. It may ask for courage. It may ask you to become more responsible. But it will not ask you to hate yourself. It will not ask you to beg for basic respect. It will not ask you to remain in endless uncertainty while giving everything you have. What meets you with truth creates room for your truth too. This is how you recognize a healthier path. You can breathe inside it. You can speak inside it. You can remain yourself inside it. There may still be difficult days, but your whole spirit is not being crushed by the effort to be long. My dear, loosen the belief that one closed path is the only path life can use. There are forms of love you have not met. There are ideas you have not considered. There are skills you have not yet discovered in yourself. There are choices that will become clear only after you stop staring at what did not open. Possibility is wider than fear allows you to see. Do not demand that it arrive in a certain shape. Remain honest. Remain open. Remain willing to move. The right things do not always arrive without effort, but they do not require desperation to stay. Peace is not the promise that nothing uncertain will happen. Peace is the knowledge that uncertainty does not remove your ability to meet the next moment. My dear, you may have believed that peace would arrive after everything was settled, after the decision, after the answer, after the money improved, after the relationship became clear, after the future looked safe. But if peace must wait until nothing is uncertain, it may spend a very long time waiting. Life continues to move. Plans change. People change. Your needs change. What once felt right may no longer fit. A path may rearrange itself even after you believed you understood where it was going. This is not a mistake in life. It is part of being alive. Stay anchored. Imagine a boat resting on moving water. The boat cannot command the sea to become still. It cannot control every wind. It cannot decide that no wave will ever touch it, but it can remain connected to an anchor. Your anchor is not one result. One result can change. Your anchor is the way you choose to stand inside change. It is your honesty. It is your self-respect. It is your willingness to care for your body. It is your ability to ask for help. It is your promise not to abandon yourself when the future looks different from what you planned. My dear, when your peace depends on one outcome, every small change feels dangerous. A delayed reply becomes a threat. A different tone becomes a warning. A slow week becomes proof of failure. One mistake becomes a story about your whole future. Your mind begins trying to calm itself by collecting more information. It checks, it searches, it asks, it creates plans. For a few minutes, you may feel better. Then the uncertainty returns. This happens because information cannot always provide the kind of safety you are seeking. You are seeking the promise that nothing painful will happen. No amount of checking can give you that promise. Inner steadiness comes from another place. It says, whatever this moment brings, I will respond with care. This moment. Worry may speak inside you. Worry says, I need to know how this ends. Trust answers, I need only enough steadiness to live this part well. Worry says, I cannot rest until I am certain. Trust answers, rest may help me meet uncertainty with more wisdom. Worry says, if the plan changes, everything is lost. Trust answers, a changed plan may still carry me somewhere meaningful. My dear, trust is not a loud voice that wins every argument. Sometimes it is only the voice you choose to follow. Worry may continue speaking. You do not have to silence it before taking care of yourself. You can say, I hear that you are afraid. You can say, we do not know the ending. You can say, we are still safe enough to meet this hour. This is not pretending. It is placing fear inside the correct size. Fear may be part of the moment. It does not have to become the whole moment. I am steady while answers form. I am supported inside uncertainty. My peace does not depend on knowing everything. My dear, for 2 minutes return to what is real. Feel the support beneath your body. Name one fact that is true now, not an imagined result, not a fearful guess. One fact. Perhaps the fact is that you sent the message. Perhaps the fact is that the answer has not arrived. Perhaps the fact is that you have enough information for today. Perhaps the fact is that your body needs rest. Then choose one response that protects your peace. You may put the phone down. You may complete one useful task. You may ask one clear question. You may decide that no decision is needed tonight. Then leave the imagined future alone for this moment. It will still be there later if it needs your attention. You do not have to visit every possible future at once. My dear, the low sound of a fan may be in the room. The mattress may be holding your back. You may feel the pulse inside your wrist. Cooler air may be moving near your face. These things are small, but they are real. Fear often takes you into what is not real yet. The body brings you back. Right now, the room is here. The breath is here. Your hands are here. This part of your life is here. Stay with the part you can actually live. My dear, uncertainty can become especially difficult when you have been hurt before. A delayed answer may remind you of an old rejection. A disagreement may bring back the feeling of being left. A change at work may awaken memories of instability. The present moment may begin carrying the weight of many past moments. This is why your reaction can feel larger than the event. You are not only responding to what is happening, you may be responding to everything it reminds you of. Bring kindness to this. Do not call yourself too sensitive. Do not shame the fear. Ask, what does this moment remind me of? The answer may help you separate the past from the present. You can say, that happened before, and I am here now. You can say, I have more wisdom now. You can say, I have choices I did not have then. You can say, I do not need to repeat the old response. This is how the anchor becomes stronger, not by denying the wave, by remembering that you are not the same person you were when the old storm came. My dear, life may be rearranging a path that no longer fits the person you are becoming. This can feel like loss. You may have imagined a future so clearly, T. Had any change feels like something has been taken from you. But a plan is not a promise from life. It is one picture created with the information you had. New information may lead to a different picture. A changed path does not mean the earlier dream was foolish. It may have guided you toward lessons, people, skills, and truths you needed. Now another direction may be asking for your attention. You do not have to call the old path a mistake to accept that it may be complete. You can honor where it carried you. Then you can release the demand that it carry you forever. My dear, peace often comes from allowing life to be new. You stop asking every new moment to match an old plan. You become willing to notice what is actually happening. You become willing to ask what fits now. This does not mean changing direction every time something becomes difficult. Difficulty is not always a sign to leave. But when a path repeatedly asks you to ignore your values, your body, and your truth, change may be wisdom. The anchor helps you know the difference. Your values remain steady even while the route changes. You may not know where the water is taking you, but you know what you refuse to lose along the way. Your dignity, your honesty, your health, your ability to look at yourself with respect. My dear, some days the water will feel calm, other days it will not. Do not judge your whole healing by one difficult day. A strong wave does not mean the anchor has failed. Feeling afraid does not mean you have lost your peace forever. You may need to return many times. Return to the body. Return to the facts. Return to one clear choice. Return to the promise not to abandon yourself. This is not repetition without growth. Each return teaches your mind that peace is available. Each return makes the path more familiar. Each return shows you that a fearful thought does not control the whole day. Stay anchored. You may be waiting for a decision that will change your next steps. While you wait, live, eat, rest, work. Speak to the people who care for you. Notice what is still good. Do not place your whole life inside one unanswered question. The question matters. It does not need to take every room. My dear, you are allowed to have more than one feeling. You can feel hopeful and tired. You can feel peaceful and uncertain. You can feel grateful and disappointed. You can trust yourself and still wish you had more information. Human feelings do not need to be clean and simple. They can exist together. Peace is not the removal of every difficult feeling. It is the space that allows feelings to move without taking over your whole identity. You can say, "Fear is here." You do not need to say, "I am fear." You can say, "I feel lost today." You do not need to say, "My whole life has no direction." You can say, "I do not know the answer." You do not need to say, "There will never be an answer." This language matters. It keeps one moment from becoming a permanent story. My dear, there may be times when peace asks you to take action. It may ask you to gather facts. It may ask you to leave an unsafe situation. It may ask you to ask for support. It may ask you to make a plan. Peace is not passive. It simply does not create more fear than the situation already holds. It helps you choose what is useful. It helps you stop when the useful action is complete. It helps you avoid feeding the part of your mind that wants endless certainty. The sea does not need to become perfectly still before you trust your balance. You can learn to stand while it moves. You can adjust. You can rest. You can ask for help steering. You can change direction. You are not powerless because the water moves. You are learning how to move with it without losing the center inside you. There comes a moment when all the effort, waiting, learning, and releasing begin to create something new. Space, not empty space, living space. Space where a clear idea can enter. Space where your body can rest. Space where love can reach you without pushing through walls of fear. Space where life can show you an answer you would never have found while demanding only one result. My dear, you have spent a long time trying to make life happen. You have tried to hold every part in place. You have tried to protect yourself from surprise. You have tried to think far enough ahead to avoid pain. You have tried to earn good things through effort, worry, and control. Now you are learning another way. You are learning that effort can be honest without becoming cruel. You are learning that rest can be wise. You are learning that an unanswered question does not always need another action. You are learning that your worth does not wait inside another person's choice. You are learning that peace can exist while the future is still forming. Softly. Imagine the first light of morning. It does not fight the night. It does not shout at the darkness. It does not demand that the sky change all at once. It arrives little by little. The edge of the room becomes visible. The shape of a chair appears. The window begins to hold a different color. What was hidden becomes easier to see. The morning does not need your help to become morning. You cannot pull the sun upward. You can only notice when the light begins to arrive. My dear, life often brings clarity in the same way. Not through one dramatic answer. Through small changes. You notice that you no longer want what once controlled you. You notice that a certain silence does not frighten you as much. You notice that you can wait without checking. You notice that you are more willing to say no. You notice that peace has become more attractive than proving yourself. These changes are the first light. They show you that your inner world is becoming different. You may still have uncertain days. You may still feel the old urge to chase. You may still try to control a situation before remembering what you have learned. This does not erase your growth. The morning is still morning even when clouds cover part of the sky. Your progress is not lost because an old fear visits. You know how to return now. You return to the body. You return to the truth. You return to the next honest step. You return to the belief that your value is not in danger. My dear, receiving is not only about getting something from life. It is a way of being present enough to notice what is already being offered. Support may arrive through a person who listens. An answer may arrive through a change you did not plan. Rest may arrive through a canceled demand. A new direction may begin with the honest end of an old one. Receiving asks you to stop deciding in advance what support must look like. You may have imagined that help would arrive as a large opportunity. It may arrive as a small idea. You may have imagined that love would arrive through one particular person. It may begin by returning you to yourself. You may have imagined that clarity would feel exciting. It may feel like a quiet no. My dear, an open life is not a careless life. You still use wisdom. You still notice patterns. You still protect your peace. You still take responsibility. But you stop closing every door that does not look like the one you expected. You allow life to be creative. You allow yourself to change. You allow goodness to arrive without first making it prove that it will never leave. Receive. The chair is holding you. The day is holding more possibilities than you can see. Your body is carrying you through this moment. Your heart has survived many things it once feared it could not survive. There is more support in your life than worry allows you to notice. This does not mean everything is easy. It means difficulty is not the only truth. My dear, from today, effort can have a different meaning. From today, I choose clear effort. From today, I leave room for support. From today, I stop measuring my worth through struggle. From today, I allow life to surprise me with goodness. These choices do not need to be perfect. They need to be practiced with patience. There will be moments when you forget. There will be moments when force feels familiar. You may find yourself holding the phone tightly, waiting for proof. You may catch yourself planning every possible result. You may feel the old pressure rising through your shoulders. That moment is not failure. It is an invitation to return. You can notice. You can soften. You can ask what belongs to you. You can release what does not. My dear, your life does not need to become completely quiet before you can live differently. You can practice inside ordinary days. You can practice while waiting in line. You can practice before sending a message. You can practice when a plan changes. You can practice when someone does not understand you. You can practice when success arrives and you feel afraid to trust it. The new way becomes strong through real moments, not through perfect ideas. You are learning how to take your hands off the parts of life that cannot be held. This allows your hands to become available for what is here. The work in front of you, the meal that needs care, the person who is speaking, the body asking for rest, the opportunity that is real now. My dear, there is a quiet freedom in no longer demanding that every moment prove where it is leading. You can allow a good day to be a good day. You can allow a difficult day to end. You can allow a conversation to remain unfinished until both hearts are ready. You can allow a dream to change shape. You can allow yourself to want something without making it a condition for peace. This freedom creates room for receiving. When your mind is not fighting every second, you notice more. You notice the idea that came while you were walking. You notice the person who treats you with care. You notice the work that gives you energy instead of only taking it. You notice that your body feels lighter around certain choices. You notice the small opening that worry would have missed. My dear, the first light does not show the whole day. It gives enough light for the next movement. That is all you need. You do not need the full future. You need enough clarity for this step. You do not need every person to understand you. You need enough courage to remain honest. You do not need life to promise that nothing will hurt. You need enough trust to know that you will stay with yourself. This is the home you have been building. A life where you do not disappear when things become uncertain. A life where rest is not a reward. A life where love does not require desperation. A life where action and peace can stand together. My dear, you can stop pushing every part of life and allow what truly belongs with you to find its way closer. Not because you have become passive, because you have become clear. You will act where action is needed. You will speak where truth is needed. You will wait where space is needed. You will leave where self-respect is needed. You will receive where goodness is offered. This is balance. This is a gentler kind of strength. The old way believed that pressure created safety. The new way knows that presence creates steadiness. The old way believed that love must be chaste. The new way understands that real connection also moves toward you. The old way demanded the whole answer. The new way honors the light available now. My dear, the night does not need to be hated for morning to come. The past does not need to be erased for you to begin again. You can honor what taught you. You can release what exhausted you. You can carry forward the wisdom without carrying forward the weight. The first light is here. It may be small, it may be quiet, but you can see enough to take the next step without force. You do not have to hold your whole life together with fear. You do not have to stay awake inside every unanswered question. You do not have to chase love, force timing, or prove your worth through exhaustion. You have carried that way of living long enough. My dear, the pressure was never proof that you cared more deeply. It was a way of trying to feel safe. Now you are discovering that safety can also grow through honesty, rest, boundaries, clear action, and trust in your own ability to meet change. You can care deeply and still have peace. You can want more and still respect today. You can take action and still release the result. You can feel uncertainty and remain connected to yourself. This is not giving up. This is coming back to life. The future may not look exactly as you planned. It may ask you to change direction. It may close a path you believed you needed. It may bring an answer later than you hoped. It may also bring support in a form you did not know to ask for. You do not need to decide the whole story from this page. My dear, return to the simple truth. Your role is not to control everything. Your role is to live this moment with as much honesty as you can. Take care of what belongs to you. Speak when your truth needs a voice. Move when the next step is clear. Rest when the body asks for rest. Leave room for life to do what only life can do. You are not behind because the answer has not appeared. You are not forgotten because the path is quiet. You are not unworthy because something did not choose you. You are still here. You are still becoming. You are still capable of receiving what meets you with truth, softly. There is nothing you need to force in this final moment. Feel the support beneath you. Feel your hands become quieter. Allow the face to soften. Allow this day to be unfinished. The next part will come when it comes. You will meet it with more wisdom than you had before. You will meet it without leaving yourself behind. I release the need to force the future. I honor the steps that are mine to take. I welcome what meets me in peace. I trust the order of my life. My dear, let this be the new promise. You will not use worry to prove that you care. You will not use exhaustion to prove that you deserve. You will not use chasing to prove that your heart is sincere. You will choose a gentler strength, a strength that can wait without collapsing, a strength that can act without panic, a strength that can release without hatred, a strength that can receive without fear. The light is still growing. You do not need to pull it closer. You only need to remain present enough to see it. Everything is unfolding in perfect order.